the longness of his branches. Maybe this will detract a little bit from that if we hang a frog in a pumpkin costume swinging off of it. Hi. My table's broken, so we're gonna have to do everything down here. I can't exercise. There's no exercising when my table's broken. Darn. We're just gonna be down here with the serial killer and Jaja Acorn and the miserable acorn. On one hand, I'm sorry, and on the other hand, I'm not, because, you know, exercise. I'm okay sitting. It's really one of my favorite things to do. Y'all sit down for this. I crocheted 3 whole things. 3. Just for y'all. And I'm kind of impressed with myself. I chose some pretty fabulous things. Also, did you see I'm sparkling? Yeah, I know. I'm having a really bad hair day though, so hopefully the sparkles will distract you from what's happening with my hair. I don't know. Maybe it's humid, it's Houston, I don't know, but the hair's not working for me today, so just look at my sparkles instead of my mop. I'm not pleased. Anyways, we're not here to talk about my hair or my clothes. We're here to talk about what I crocheted. It's cute. It's real cute. I tried to choose some things that I thought would be good for the background. We need some more things that are kind of fallish, Halloween-y. We need more of that. So I went searching. I tried looking in my own crochet books to see if there was something that I thought I could do quickly, that I could turn into kind of Halloween stuff, and nothing was blowing up my skirt. Not a darn thing was blowing up my skirt to where I thought I can do this quickly and, you know, I can put the spin on it, the Cindy spin. There was nothing like that. I went through all of my patterns that I have digitally, still nothing that I thought I could do something with. So my last resort was to go to Etsy and see what I could find there, because I always find something on Etsy. It always feels good to know that other people are on my wavelength. You know, my wavelength is not normal. And so when I see other people that have, you know, taken what they're thinking and made stuff out of it and made it public, I'm like, I like you. I like you a lot. I found some of those things and I thought I needed to make them for y'all. So I did. Now this first one, I did this one really fast. It just whipped up lickety split. And I think it turned out real cute. It's a mushroom with ruffles here on the sides. So it's extra. It's got zhuzhing. And it looks like I needed to put a little bit more stuffing right here, but it's fine. It's fine. Now this has a rock in it. You can't hear it, but there's a pretty big rock from our front garden in here. I was hoping it would give it a little bit of weight to kind of stand up and stuff, but it's not really doing that real good. So when it goes up there, I'm gonna have to lean it on something so it stays upright, because it really doesn't do that right now. And I tried to do it in colors that I thought could make it last year round. So it is green and pink and white, but I thought this is also good for Pinkaween, for my Pinkaween back here. Now in the pattern, I made a couple of changes. One of them is that this pattern actually has a face, but I didn't want to do the face because y'all know how I am about food with faces. And you know, I do like to eat me a mushroom, though I'm pretty sure this would be a poisonous one if we tried to eat it. And I just didn't want it to have a face. So it doesn't have a face. And it also had a spider that went on it. And I didn't want to make it because it had 8 legs. I am still recovering from last summer when I was making all the octopuses. Things with 8 of anything is like, oh, no, I'm not recovered enough to do you yet. So no spiders. So it's just a cute little shroom with ruffles. I also changed the little spots on here. In the pattern, there were only 2 sizes, but I needed, you know, to have more depth, more, you know, just different than that. So I did several different sizes, and I did mine in groups of 3 because I have obsessions with the number 3. I don't know. I saw it on, what was that, Chip and Joanna, their show. She always does things in odd numbers, like 3, 5. You should never do evens. You have to do them in odd numbers, and 3 is really the best number. And that was already my lucky number because that's my birthday day. That's a long story to tell you why I chose to do groups of 3, because it looks good, basically, is why. The next thing I made is very different, but it called to me and I just had to go with it. Something I don't know if I've ever told y'all is I love frogs. I really do. I love to go catch frogs. I think frogs are adorable. I have always loved frogs, and I also like earthworms a lot. I grew up in Austin, and every time after it rained, there'd be frogs everywhere and earthworms. They'd come out of the grass, they'd get washed out of the grass, and the frogs would come out and eat the worms. So I would go catch the worms and the frogs. And then I would take the worms to my grandmother's compost pile that she had because she liked to fish and she composted. And so I put the worms in there, and then, you know, when we went fishing, I'd dig up the worms and we'd go fishing. I don't keep the frogs. I just play with them a little bit and then, you know, give them back to the earth after they've peed on me normally. I used to think as a kid that the pee from frogs would give you warts, because I think that's what my grandmother told me to keep me from picking up the frogs. Because I don't think she always liked me bringing the frogs home. I know my mother didn't. My mother was scared of anything with hair or fur. Anything. It took her a long time to even play with dolls as a child because she was terrified of hair on a doll. And it wasn't until she went to school and other blind kids had dolls and toys that she knew it was okay. It's fine. And when I had pets, that was a big deal for my mother to be able to enjoy an animal because she was always scared of fur. For me to be bringing home frogs when she's scared of fur, frogs really scare her. Ask me how I know. I would put frogs in her hands. My mother doesn't like that at all, but it was quite enjoyable for me watching her scream and jump. I've already told you I'm sadistic. I've already told you that, right? It's true. You know, I would be a kid and taunt my mother a little bit with certain things, and usually they were kind of gross. All of this to tell you is that I made a frog doing something for fall. It's a frog is a pumpkin pie in a swing. He's swinging. That's what this rope is. He's swinging. This is actually made to hang in your car off of your rear view mirror, but I don't like stuff in my car hanging like that. I get hypnotized and I just start watching the thing dangling, and then I'm gonna get in a wreck, so I can never have stuff hanging off of my mirror. But I thought, you know what? This would be really good on here in my room. Carl and his weird branches that some of y'all are still talking to me about. I'm sorry, Carl's branches are out there, is all I know to say. He is always sticking them out loud and proud. And I thought, well, maybe if there's something hanging off the branch that will, you know, make him have a little bit more purpose to the not that word, the length, or I don't know, the longness of his branches. Maybe this will detract a little bit from that if we hang a frog in a pumpkin costume swinging off of it. What do you think? I think it has possibilities. I really do think it has possibilities. It's either going to make Carl better or worse than he already is. And from some of y'all's comments, I think he's already kind of bad. But he's cute. I mean, everybody wants to make themselves a Carl. A lot of y'all have wanted to make a Carl. And, you know, now that Carl might have a frog hanging off of it, I think that's kind of nice. Unique. I mean, how many cactuses really have that hanging off of them? Not many. This guy has a name. This is Ribbit Downey Jr., named after Robert Downey Jr., because I kind of like him. I think a lot of people really like him in like his Iron Man movies and stuff. That is not where my love of Robert Downey Jr. came from. No, I loved him back in the 90s. Anybody remember the movie Chances Are? It had Sybil Shepherd and Bridget Fonda and Robert Downey Jr. It's about a guy who's died, and then he's reincarnated, and then he ends up falling for the girl who was actually his daughter that he never really met before he died. And then he finds out that it's his daughter because he goes to meet her mother, and it's his old wife. It sounds really messed up now when I say it like that, but it was such a good movie. It was so good, so sweet. He was probably on a lot of drugs back then, but he was still really cute back in those days. And that's what I always think of when I think of Robert Downey Jr. was him thin on a lot of drugs, but real cute, and like trying to date his daughter as a reincarnated image of her father. And this guy is from a shop called Alpaca Patterns. Now go look at her shop. This girl, she has got frogs being everything. She has got Christmas frogs being Santa, reindeer, Christmas trees. She's got Easter frogs. She's got frogs being everything, just like I said. She's got them all dressed up doing all kinds of things, and they're adorable. because y'all love frogs. So pretty much to me, a frog doing anything is really cute. And look, they don't have necks or nothing. Like in real life, I mean, frogs really don't have a neck, but I seem to be drawn to animals and things that don't have necks. Like my dogs, except for Gus. Gus has a neck. But Tater Tot and Lollipop, no, they just be thick. And there's not really a neck there. And I'm just drawn to animals without necks. I don't know, just like their head sitting on their shoulders. I just think it's precious. I don't know. So go look at her stuff if you like frogs. In the meantime, we're just gonna enjoy Ribbit Downey Jr. over here right before he goes to hang off of his new home, hanging off of a elongated branch on a crocheted cactus named Carl. I know I'm weird, it's fine. And now as I was thinking about all the things that I have in my fall Halloweenish collection, I was thinking, what is something I don't have when I was shopping through Etsy? So I was like, I have a ghost. I have a reversible ghost. I have a booby. I have a bat. I have pumpkins. I have a pumpkin house. But I do not have this. When I saw this, I thought, you know what? I don't have that. I might need it. I just might. And it comes in a set with a whole lot more similar to it. So I got it. It's a zombie chicken. It is a chicken in a zombie costume. See, this is its brains coming out. It's got like patches of, I guess, skin. I've always wondered that about zombies. Who is sewing the stuff back on them? Do y'all ever wonder that? I was like, is there another zombie that's there sewing pieces back on them? Because if you're a person and you have a brain and you're sewing stuff on them, aren't they gonna eat you? Is that right? I don't know. I don't know enough about zombies. I'm just thinking back to Shaun of the Dead. I really like that show. And then I tried to watch The Walking Dead once. I think it was like in the first or second episode, and they started eating a horse, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out. You can't eat Trigger. And Mr. Ed, no, we don't eat horses. We don't eat them. And I thought, this is not the show for me. You know, I can't watch really scary shows. And if you're eating animals and stuff, I can't. Back to the chicken. I gave it one weird eye and a normal eye. And this costume actually comes off. See, look, there's just a chicken with a crazy eye. So you really want to keep the costume on. And see, he's got little wings right here. It's adorable. And he's got little feet and he's a blob. And once again, you see no neck. Right up my alley. So you put his little zombie costume on. Like this. And there, now it's a zombie chicken. I have named this one Fried But Not Dyed Pecktricia. Like peck, like a chicken pecks. Pecktricia, like Patricia, but it's Pecktricia because it's a chicken. Pretty cute, huh? Fried But Not Dyed because it's dead but not. Because that's a zombie, right? This is a pattern by Blossom Moon Crafts, UK. And she has sets of these chickens and they have costumes. I got the Halloween set, so there is this one. It also has Frankenstein, a bat, a pumpkin, a ghost, Grim Reaper, and this. This is another pattern designer that she has a ton of these chickens dressed up as things. They're adorable, and she sells a lot of them as sets. You should go look at her stuff too if you're a chicken person. Like I know some of you are chicken people and you like to have like those, what was that, kitchen chicken? What was that one that everybody was making a couple of years ago? That one could have laid some zombie chickens or you know, a whole little litter. Though chickens aren't litters, are they? They're a whole little, what are they called when you have a bunch of little chickens? Like a squad, a chicken squad? I don't know. I didn't have chickens, so I don't know what a whole little group of them is when they're babies. So I'm sure one of y'all's gonna tell me because I sound really stupid talking like that. I sound like very much like a city girl, and I am, but I'm not. I did grow up in the country as well as the city. I've been in both places. I just think this is adorable, and I had to have it. And the last thing I was gonna say is we reached 8,000 subscribers. OMG. I was very surprised at that because I really didn't think we were going to get that because, you know, I can't keep my videos consistent because of just my world. I was just like, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. It's fine. But that is the only intention I have accomplished off of my intentions that I set for the beginning of this year. I was like, Cindy, you go, girl, out of like 9 or 10 and you got 1. It's really not great, but that 1 is really good. I'm really proud of that. I am so appreciative to those of y'all who have been here for a long time and any of the new ones. And feel free to like and subscribe, because I think there's a lot of people who watch and don't subscribe, because I never say it to like and subscribe. I don't like asking people for anything. So I don't do that well. I just assume y'all know if you like, you subscribe and like, sort of thing. I just assume that. They say not to do that, but I can't help it. You know, it's the only child in me. I'm just going to get it done on my own because there's nobody else. I'm that kind of mentality. But I so much appreciate those of you who have helped me get here. And I've had some people ask about like memberships or anything like that. We're not going to do that. As of now, because I need to be able to offer you something if we do a membership, and I have nothing additional to offer. I'm not good at doing vlog style things. I'm not good at remembering a camera to take with me anywhere. And plus, I think laughter and joy should be free. We need a lot of that right now in the world. Things are just hard in so many places, and I don't think you should ever have to pay for giggles. We're just going to keep it like it is, and I just appreciate anybody who likes and subscribes. That helps me and helps me be able to keep my channel going so that I can do the things that hopefully make y'all giggle and smile. Thank you for spending your time here with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time here on the Rumi Mill. Bye! I don't think I chose a big enough rock, and kinda not really working that good. And I tried to do it so it could stay out year round and stuff, or at least after Christmas, but I don't know. If you can't stand on your own, you can't be up here on the table with me. I don't have time to be holding you up, you know, so he's going down there. I would have never thought to have dressed a frog up as a pumpkin pie. I would have never thought it, but somebody did. I just visualized him hanging off of that cactus branch back there that usually looks like it's going in my ear. If it has a frog on it, maybe it's not gonna look like that. Oh no, it's probably gonna make it look worse. And have y'all seen the ones, I think it's called like a rain frog, and they have little bottom butt cheeks, and they squeak. They don't ribbit, they squeak. They're the cutest ugly little things I ever did see. And this is brain popping out, and this thing, what is that? I don't know. Or you can make you an army of Halloween chickens. Ooh, or an army of zombies. That would be kind of interesting, because they could all be different kinds of zombies. I don't know what makes zombies different.